In today's video, we're going to talk about the GPIO pins of the Raspberry Pi. You see that we have these 40 pins. We can use it to control some devices from the Pi, or we can read some data from sensors, including the DHT sensor to read the temperature or the humidity. We can check for obstacles. So this part is really important, especially for our channel, DIY TechRush. We're going to talk about all of the components that we can attach to the Pi and create some cool projects. That's why make sure to hit the subscribe button, that helps me a lot. And let's dive right in. First of all, we need to understand the numbering of these GPIO pins. You need to take a look at the Pinout diagram, which is this image. It's the same for the modern Pis. If you're getting started, you need to open it up so that you can check for the pins and whether you are using the right one or not. Here we have number 1, 2, until 40, and this is called the physical numbers. We're going to set this kind of numbering from the code later on. Also, we have something that is called BCM, which is another numbering. For example, this pin is number 17 if you are using the BCM mode. And here you will notice that we have some pins that outputs a voltage, like this one that outputs 3.3 volts. We use it to power up sensors, including the IR sensor. We can power it up using the 3.3 volts pin. We have ground to complete the circuit. Also, we have SDA-SCL for I2C communication. For example, we can use the I2C display or the LCD display. So to be able to control these pins, we are going to use a library. But first, we have to access the Pi. I'm going to use the SSH, which we have talked about under the second episode of this series on Windows or Mac OS or Linux. So it's going to work. Just write SSH, the name of the user. I have used the name Shaker, then @ and the IP address of the board, or we can use the host name that we have set from the Raspberry Pi imager. For me, it is a Raspberry Pi. If you hit enter, you're gonna pass in the password, and now we can access the Pi using the commands. We have the ls command that shows you all of the documents or the folders under this Pi. So let's zoom in a bit, and I'm gonna use clear to clear the screen. We're going to use the Python programming language, which we've talked about in our recent episode. It's part 3. We can write Python like this and write the commands using this command line print to print a text like hello. And if you hit enter, you're going to run this code under the Pi. Before we start writing the code, we need to make sure that we have installed the library that we use to control the GPIO pins. That's why I'm going to exit. Basically, it's pre-installed by default, but I'm going to write the command to install it or update it using sudo apt install, and it is called python 3 -rpi.gpio, and that's going to install the library or update it. It's already installed, that's why we have this message. Once you do that, we'll be able to control our pins. First, I'm going to use the Python command line. So here we have to import the library using import, then the name rpi lowercase dot gpio, and instead of using this name, we can use as gpio in lowercase. Here you could put whatever name you want. Now to use a command under this library, we can write gpio dot and the name of the method that we use. First, we're going to set the mode of the board or the pin numbering, BCM and board. We have the command set mode that takes in the mode name, of course, using the library GPIO dot. I'm going to start with board. It's easy to read. Then we are going to use one of the pins. For example, we can take a look at the pin number 11. If you're using the board mode, you have to write 11 by using GPIO dot method setup to set up the pin. We give it the pin number 11. We can use the pins as outputs to control devices like LEDs or a fan using a relay. Also, we can use it as an input when we have sensors to read from. For now, I'm going to control the LED that we're going to connect it to the pin number 11. That's why I'm going to pass in GPIO dot out, and that's how we can set the mode of this pin. Now, before we start controlling the pin, we're going to control this LED from the Pi. We have to connect it to the pin number 11 using the breadboard, which makes it easier for connecting components. And the points in the same column are connected. For example, if we want to connect this lead to this one, we have to put them in the same column, but each column is separated from the other one. To control the LED, we're going to make a simple circuit. We're going to go from the pin number 11, and it's the pin number 6 from this side. Make sure to pick up the right one. Then we're going to take it to the breadboard and put it in one of these columns. We're going to connect this pin to the positive lead of the LED, which is the longer leg. As I said, we have to put it in the same column, and that's going to connect these two sides. Then I'm going to add the ohm resistor to protect the LED by putting the first leg in the same column and the other lead on the other side of this breadboard. Finally, we want to complete the circuit by going back to the ground. If you look at the pinout diagram, you're going to see a few GPIO pins that are labeled ground, like this one on top of the pin number 11. We can use the pin number 14. For that, let's take this jumper wire, connect it this side to the pin which is labeled ground, and now we'll be able to control the LED using the commands. Let's get back to the command line, and the method is called GPIO dot output to output a voltage. We give it the pin number 11, and here we have two values. 1 turns the LED on and 0 turn it off, or we can use true for turning the LED on. And yep, our LED turns on. To turn it off, we can use the same command. I'm using the up arrow to go back to the previous commands that we write. Instead of using true, I'm going to use false, and that turns the LED off. Last but not least, we have to use a command which is called cleanup, because when you use pins, they are blocked and we can't use it after we close the program and run it again. That's why we need to make sure to use GPIO.cleanup. And now I'm going to exit and show you another way to write the Python code. Let's use exit. We can go under the desktop using the cd command, desktop. Then we can use touch and give the file a name like test.py. And if we use ls again, you see that we have this test.py file. And to access the file and write the code under it, we can use nano and the name test.py. But I think it's not that easy to write the code under this IDE, which is called nano. We can use the Thonny IDE from the Raspberry Pi applications. To save a bit of time, I have written this code. On top, we are including the library GPIO. Then we have used the time library because I want to turn the LED on and off 10 times, each 1 second or half a second. Then I have created a variable, which is called LED pin equals 11. That's the pin that we are controlling. First, we have to set the mode of the Pi numbering using GPIO.setMode. Here I'm using GPIO.board. Next, we have to set up the LED pin. We're using the pin as an output. And I have used the for loop for I arrange 10. Each time, we're going to turn the LED on using GPIO.output. We give it the LED pin, and we can use GPIO.high. Instead of using true or false, we can use these keywords. Then we wait for half a second and turn it off using the low keyword. And finally, we need to make sure to clean up what we have done with this pin. Next, to save the code, we have to use Ctrl X. It's going to ask us to save it using Y, then Enter to write it with the same name. And we can run this file by typing Python test.py. If you hit enter, you see that the LED turns on and off. It's going to turn on and off 10 times. Now I'm going to show you how to open up the Thonny IDE. First, we need to get its IP address so that I can type it by using sudo ifconfig. And here we have the IP address. I'm going to copy it using Ctrl C. Then I will open up the VNC Viewer app and type it under here. We're gonna continue. You need to pass in the username and the password. And there you go, we have our test.py file. We can open it up using the Thonny IDE by going under the Raspberry Pi logo, programming, Thonny. Then I'm gonna open it up by going to File, Open, and get it from the desktop. Here we have our code. And let's change this to BCM. So if you change this to BCM, you need to use these numbers. I'm gonna use 17. And we can run the code using the button. Yeah, the LED turns on and off 10 times. I think that's all for this episode, and I will see you in the next one.